Okay, so I guess I'm just going to make this part two. One thing I'm trying to do is not see setbacks as setbacks, but rather as just being gently led into a different direction. And I'm going to share some stories about manifestation and how that shows up as, like, instead of a breakdown, it's really a breakthrough. And it was good because my phone overheated and the video was getting kind of long, and I was able to paint my nails and do my thing. So this is part two. And what I was kind of discussing is the signs and the symbols in your environment. And I last covered 8, which is a sign of like abundance and material resources that are available to you, and to open your eyes and look around. And 999 is about completion. And as I was sitting here at my desk kind of getting things situated to do this video, what I got around seeing that number was that you are being given the resources to complete a project. Maybe you're being guided to complete something. And what I'm also hearing is finish what's finished. Finish it. So 999, or some, it's a just letting you know that something's going to be coming to an end. And it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It could just be a phase of something, 999. And so, maybe you're one of these people who don't, if you're honest, want to be checking your angel cards every few minutes and following the signs. I know that there's this lady, and I talk to her, and she just thinks that I'm like this hippy dippy, like no logic, and it's not true. I think I apply logic to things, and I get it that you don't need to pull cards every 5 minutes, and you don't want to be referencing your angel book, but it's nice if you kind of can remember what they mean or define what they're going to mean to you. I do think that the universe, sometimes if you don't know what your sign is, you just ask and you inquire about it, and it will be revealed to you. And if you want to say, I really like this symbol, you can, decide that that's like your spirit symbol. And those kind of go hand in hand. It's interesting, like, you don't need much convincing. Like, it shows up in a very emphatic way when you ask to get what your spirit symbol is. And mine is rainbows. And sometimes I'll close my eyes and even see, like, the rainbows in my mind. Or I'll look at something and see a rainbow. And that's an indication that I'm in alignment or to keep following this. So when you see these synchronicities, and the point of doing these videos, whether it's numbers or feathers or pennies from heaven, our loved ones also communicate with us via signs. I mean, so often we pray for a sign, and then they show up, and then we're like, no, that can't be it. Follow it out is what I'm suggesting. And, if you have these things in your mind, then you can just use top of mind awareness to be efficient about it. You don't need to reference it all the time, but just think about, what was I thinking about when I saw that sequence of numbers? And that's a very practical and efficient way to get quick insights. And what you'll notice too is as you feel better, you're going to notice more synchronicities and more signs. So follow them out and see where they go. And you'll see that these signs are really indicators of solutions to what you're dealing with. And it's really nice too, because it's soothing to know that you're not alone and that you're not being asked to do these things, like these callings that you feel like you want to do, these projects you want to work on, these experiences you want to have, the things you want to create and manifest, are being given to you for a reason, and you're not being just teased, you're not being drug along, like, you are being guided to those things with synchronicity. And maybe you don't want to be one of these woo-woo weird people like me. I just have to accept that that's how I roll. But using your intuition, think of it as a way of organizing information that's all around you. And it's like breadcrumbs. And I write an article about this on my blog called "We Get Clues But We Don't Get the Whole Map." The universe and the angels don't just flood you with all kinds of information about everything you're going to do, because people get so overwhelmed. They understand that we're being bombarded with all kinds of things all day long that are trying to get our attention and that are affecting our nervous system in ways that we don't fully understand, and that we're not fully mitigating all the time. And so that's why they give us clues, and I really they're telling me to bring up this point that when we feel better, it's easier to hear them. So getting yourself situated, it's easier to get that divine inspiration, that divine guidance. And maybe you don't want to be one of these weird people, but the reason that I like this kind of stuff is that it's just an interesting and beautiful way to walk through life. And for me personally, as an INFJ, I am processing just a huge data stream of people's emotions and impressions and feelings that I get, and being able to create intuitive rules for myself, like if I see 3 of something. And these cards, I swear I pulled the listen to music card 5 times in a row, and then I'll drop a bunch of cards and 3 will stand out, and then I'll know that was my answer to my question, and then I'll shuffle it and ask and pull the same cards again. I think that we ask for signs, and when we get them, be grateful, recognize them, acknowledge them, and then you get more of them. Follow them out, because then you're going to be able to see, oh, there is some order to this. It's not all just random chaos. Somebody had mentioned that they found my videos and they subscribed because I mentioned, I think, the number 21. And I do that with videos because there's so many people who are sharing so much information. It's like, even when you're looking down a list, you need to look at what jumps out to you in the heading, or something about that person, or, sometimes when I need information, I just pray, and then I go online, and then I feel like I'm led to interesting things. And so I hope that was helpful. I hope that those numbers gave you an interesting way to look at things like that, and maybe some different ideas and interpretations of what they mean, so that you can incorporate that information in your day. And I feel like I'm being told to mention, well, what do I do if I'm getting mixed signs, mixed signals? And what I'm hearing around that is you need to clearly define what it is that you want, because the